Welcome back to ZE Coins. If you're a coin collector, history buff, or just curious about the hidden treasures in your pocket change, you're in for a treat today. We're diving deep into the story of the 1974 Washington quarter. Yes, you heard that right, a simple quarter from 1974 that could be worth up to $2.9 million. You might even have one lying around in your coin jar right now. So, stick around because we're going to cover its fascinating history, why some of these coins are so valuable, and how you can tell if you've got a rare one. Let's get started. First, let's rewind a bit and talk about the history of the Washington quarter itself. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. The original design was created by John Flanagan, featuring a profile of Washington on the obverse, that's the front of the coin, and a bald eagle on the reverse, which is the back of the coin. This design stayed pretty consistent until 1998, when the U.S. Mint started releasing the State Quarter series. But what makes the 1974 quarter stand out in particular? Well, it wasn't a special year for the quarter in terms of official design changes or minting errors that were widely known at the time. However, that's exactly what makes this story so fascinating. Sometimes, it's the smallest mistakes or rare variations that can turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary treasure. Now, let's get into what makes some 1974 quarters so valuable. While millions of these coins were minted, only a few have unique characteristics that drive their worth up significantly. One of the biggest reasons a 1974 Washington quarter could be worth big money is due to minting errors or unusual metal compositions. For example, in 1974, quarters were supposed to be made from a copper-nickel clad composition. But occasionally, mistakes happened at the mint, and some coins were struck on silver planchets left over from previous years or even on experimental metal types. These error coins are incredibly rare, and collectors will pay top dollar for them. Another factor is the coin's condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. A 1974 quarter in mint state, meaning it's in pristine, uncirculated condition, can fetch a much higher price than a worn one. If your quarter has no scratches, dings, or discoloration, it's worth getting it appraised. But here's the kicker. Some reports and auction houses have listed extremely rare 1974 quarters selling for insane amounts, like that $2.9 million figure. While that might sound unbelievable, it's true for certain rare variants, especially if they have a unique error combined with a perfect condition grading. So, how do you know if your 1974 Washington quarter is one of these rare, valuable coins? Here's what to look for. First, check the metal composition. A normal 1974 quarter should be a copper-nickel clad coin. But if you notice it has a silver-like appearance, it might have been struck on a silver planchet. You can test this with a simple magnet test. Since silver isn't magnetic, it shouldn't stick to a magnet. But for more accuracy, a professional can perform a specific gravity test. Second, look for mint marks. The 1974 quarters were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Denver have a D mint mark, and those from San Francisco have an S. The ones from Philadelphia have no mint mark. Generally, quarters from San Francisco were proof coins, meaning they were made with special care for collectors, but occasionally these proof coins ended up in circulation. If you have one in great condition, it could be valuable. Third, examine the coin for errors. Look closely for any doubling in the lettering or design, known as a double die error. This is when the coin's design is struck twice slightly off from the first impression, creating a doubling effect. These kinds of errors are highly sought after. Finally, consider getting your coin graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. They'll give it an official grade, which can significantly increase its value if it's in excellent condition. Now, let's talk about the current market value. Most 1974 quarters you'll find in circulation are worth their face value, just 25 cents. But if you have one in mint condition, or with any of the rare errors we've talked about, it could be worth anywhere from a few dollars to several thousand. The record-breaking $2.9 million sale? That was for an ultra-rare 1974 quarter with a unique error and perfect condition, sold at a high-profile auction. While it's incredibly rare to find one like that, it's not impossible. There are collectors and dealers constantly on the lookout for these coins, and auctions are where the magic happens. On average, a standard 1974 quarter in uncirculated condition could be worth around $10 to $50, depending on its grade and mint mark. But again, rare error coins or coins in near-perfect condition can command much higher prices. So, could you be sitting on a $2.9 million quarter? It's possible, but it's rare. However, coin collecting is a fascinating hobby, and you never know what treasures you might find in your pocket change. Even if you don't find $1 million coin, you could still discover valuable coins worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. The key is to pay attention to the details, learn what makes certain coins special, and maybe even get involved in the collector community. You'll not only gain knowledge but also enjoy the thrill of the hunt. Who knows, the next time you get change from the store, you might just spot a valuable piece of history. We're talking about a coin that might just be sitting in your pocket or your old coin jar, the 1965 Washington quarter dollar. But guess what? Some of these coins are worth way more than 25 cents. In fact, one rare version of this quarter is valued at a whopping $2.8 million. So, grab your magnifying glasses because we're going to explore the history, key features, and how to find out if you've got a fortune in your hands. Let's start with a little history lesson. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design features the profile of George Washington on the obverse, or the front side, designed by John Flanagan. On the reverse side, you'll find an eagle with outstretched wings, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below, symbolizing both strength and peace. Now, the year 1965 is especially important because it marked a major change in how quarters were made. Before 1965, quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper. But due to a rising demand for silver and its increasing price, the U.S. Mint decided to switch things up. Starting in 1965, quarters were made from a copper-nickel-clad composition. That's a layer of copper sandwiched between two layers of nickel. This change was meant to save money and conserve silver for other purposes. But here's where it gets interesting. During this transition period, a few 1965 quarters were mistakenly struck on the old 90% silver planchets instead of the new copper-nickel ones. These rare mistakes are what collectors are hunting for, and they can be worth a fortune. So, what exactly makes a 1965 Washington quarter valuable? It all comes down to a few key factors: composition, condition, and errors. First, let's talk about composition. As I mentioned, most 1965 quarters are made of copper and nickel. But if you find one that's made of silver, you've struck gold. Well, silver actually, but you get the idea. These silver quarters were likely created by accident, using leftover silver planchets from 1964. Next is condition. Like any collectible, the better the condition, the higher the value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin with no flaws. Coins in mint state, that means they've never been circulated and show no signs of wear, are especially valuable. Even a regular 1965 quarter in mint state can fetch a nice price, but a silver one in mint state, that's where the big money comes in. Finally, there are errors. Coin errors are like hidden treasures. Some 1965 quarters have double dies, where the design was stamped twice, creating a slight overlapping effect. Others might have off-center strikes or missing letters. These types of errors make the coin unique and highly desirable to collectors. Now you're probably wondering, how can I tell if my 1965 quarter is worth thousands or even millions of dollars? Here's what you need to look for. Check the edge. The easiest way to spot a silver quarter is by looking at the edge of the coin. Copper-nickel quarters have a distinctive copper-colored stripe along the edge. If your quarter's edge looks solid silver with no copper stripe, you might have a rare silver version. Weight test. Copper-nickel quarters weigh about 5.67 grams, while silver quarters weigh 6.25 grams. It's a small difference, but if you have a precise scale, it can make all the difference. Sound test. Silver quarters make a higher-pitched, ringing sound when you drop them compared to the duller sound of copper-nickel quarters. Give it a gentle drop on a hard surface and listen carefully. Magnifying glass. Look for errors like doubling on the lettering or numbers, or any strange marks that seem out of place. These could indicate a valuable mint error. Now let's talk about the big money. In recent years, Rare 1965 Washington quarters have sold for impressive amounts at auctions. The most famous one is a 1965 silver quarter that was sold for an incredible $2.8 million. This coin was in near-perfect condition, graded as mint state 68 by professional coin graders. Why did it sell for so much? Because it's one of the rarest coins from that era. It combined both the silver composition mistake and was in pristine condition, making it a one-of-a-kind find. Even if you don't have a $2.8 million coin, other 1,965 quarters with errors or in high grades can still fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. For example, a 1965 quarter with a double die error recently sold for over $12,000 at auction.so. What's the current market value of a 1965 Washington quarter today? Here's a quick breakdown. Regular 1965 quarters in circulated condition are typically worth face value, just 25 cents. Uncirculated quarters in mint state can sell for $10 to $50, depending on their grade. Silver 1965 quarters can range from $5,000 to over $100,000, depending on their condition and rarity. Error coins like double dies or off-center strikes can sell for hundreds to thousands of dollars. And of course, if you have one of those ultra-rare silver quarters in perfect condition, you could be looking at millions. The demand for rare coins has been steadily rising, especially with more people getting into coin collecting and investing. So now is a great time to check your change, dig through those old coin jars, and maybe even visit a local coin dealer to get your quarters appraised. Alright, coin hunters, that wraps up our deep dive into the 1965 Washington quarter. Who knew that a simple quarter could be worth millions? Remember, it's all about knowing what to look for. Whether it's a silver composition, a mint error, or a coin in pristine condition. We're diving into a coin that has taken the numismatic world by storm. We're talking about the 1997 P Washington quarter dollar. Now, you might be thinking, it's just a regular quarter, right? Well, not quite. There's a fascinating history behind this coin, and believe it or not, some of these quarters are worth big money. We're talking about one that reportedly sold for a whopping $2.7 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single 25-cent coin fetching millions. So, grab your coin jars and let's see if you might be holding on to a hidden treasure. Let's rewind a bit. The Washington quarter has been in circulation since 1932. It was introduced to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The original design was created by John Flanagan, featuring the iconic profile of Washington on the obverse, or front side, and an eagle with outstretched wings on the reverse. Over the years, the design stayed mostly the same until the 50-state quarters program began in 1999. But before that, we had coins like the 1997 P Washington quarter, which is the star of today's video. Now, the P mint mark indicates that the coin was minted in Philadelphia. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions of these quarters in 1997, over 595 million to be exact. So, you're probably wondering, if there are so many of them, why is one worth millions? Well, that's where things get interesting. Most 1997 P quarters are only worth face value, but certain factors can skyrocket their price. We're talking about things like errors, minting anomalies, and high-grade conditions. Let's break these down. Mint errors. Sometimes, coins are struck incorrectly, leading to errors that collectors go crazy for. This can include things like double dies, where the coin's design is duplicated slightly off-center, or off-center strikes, where the coin isn't aligned properly during minting. There are even clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin is missing due to a mishap in the cutting process. High-grade coins. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70 by services like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. A perfect MS-70, mint state 70. Coin is flawless under magnification. While most 1997 P quarters are circulated and show signs of wear, finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition can significantly boost its value. Rare varieties. Sometimes, a rare die variety can make a coin incredibly valuable. These are subtle differences in the design that occurred during production, and they're highly sought after by collectors. Now, the $2.7 million quarter is believed to be a rare mint error combined with a perfect grade, making it a one-of-a-kind piece. While exact details about the specific sale are scarce, Stories like this fuel the excitement in the coin collecting community. So, how much is your 1997 P Washington quarter worth? Well, here's a breakdown. Circulated coins. If your quarter has been jingling around in your pocket, it's probably worth 25 cents. Maybe a bit more if it's in better condition, but nothing too crazy. Uncirculated coins. If you have an uncirculated 1997 P quarter, meaning it looks brand new and has never been used, it could be worth anywhere from $1 to $10 depending on its condition. High-grade coins. Coins graded MS65 or higher can fetch between $20 to $50. The rarer the grade, the higher the price. Mint errors. This is where things get exciting. Depending on the type and severity of the error, these coins can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. For example, a double die error or an off-center strike can significantly increase a coin's value. The $2.7 million coin. Now, as for the legendary $2.7 million 1997 P quarter, it's believed to be a combination of a perfect mint error and a flawless grade. While these coins are extremely rare, stories like this remind us that treasures can be hiding in plain sight. As of now, the market for rare coins is booming. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for unique pieces, and auctions often see unexpected bidding wars. While most 1997 P quarters won't make you a millionaire, certain rare examples have been known to fetch thousands of dollars. So, it's always worth taking a closer look at your spare change. Websites like eBay, Heritage Auctions, and PCGS can give you a good idea of current market values. If you think you have a valuable coin, consider getting it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. This can help verify its authenticity and maximize its resale value. If you're now itching to check your coin jar, here's what you should look for. Check the mint mark. Look for the P on the obverse side of the coin. Inspect for errors. Use a magnifying glass to check for doubling, off-center strikes, or other anomalies. Check the condition. The shinier and more flawless your coin, the better. Look for any scratches, dings, or wear. Get it graded. If you think you have something special, send it to a professional grading service for verification. So, there you have it, the fascinating story of the 1997 P Washington quarter. While most of these coins won't make you rich, there's always a chance you could stumble upon a rare gem worth thousands, or even millions. Coin collecting is full of surprises, and that's what makes it so exciting. We're talking about a coin that's causing a huge buzz in the collector community, the 2000 P Washington quarter dollar. Now, this isn't just any ordinary quarter you'd find in your pocket change. Nope, this one could be worth big money, and in some cases, we're talking about values soaring up to an eye-popping $2.6 million. Yep, you heard that right. So stick around, because we're diving into the history, the unique features, and what makes this coin potentially worth a fortune. Let's start with a little history. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since 1932, designed to commemorate the 200th birthday of our first president, George Washington. The original design was created by John Flanagan, and while there have been some tweaks and changes over the decades, like the State Quarter series that began in 1999, the iconic image of Washington's profile has remained a consistent symbol on the obverse side of the coin. Now, the quarter we're focusing on today is the 2000 P Washington quarter, which is part of the State Quarter series. The P mint mark indicates it was minted in Philadelphia. The reverse of this particular coin celebrates the state of New Hampshire, which joined the Union in 1788. Hence why you might see the date 1788 on the coin. The design features the famous Old Man of the Mountain Rock Formation, along with the state motto, "Live free or die." So why is this coin special? And why are collectors paying millions for it? Well, the value of any coin depends on a few key factors: rarity, condition, historical significance, and errors. The 2000 P Washington quarter has been reported to have some rare minting errors that can significantly increase its value. We're talking about things like double die errors, off-center strikes, or even coins struck on the wrong planchet, meaning they were accidentally minted on a metal blank meant for a different denomination. In some rare cases, these errors are so unique that collectors are willing to pay top dollar to own a piece of history. And when we say top dollar, we're not exaggerating. Some reports claim that a rare 2000 P Washington quarter with a significant error sold for as much as $2.6 million at auction. Now, before you rush to check your coin jars at home, keep in mind that these are extremely rare cases, And not every 2000p quarter is going to make you a millionaire. Let's break down what you should look for if you think you might have one of these valuable quarters. First, check for any visible errors. Double die errors, where the images or letters appear slightly doubled, are a big one. You might also see off-center strikes, where the design isn't perfectly aligned on the coin. Another thing to look for is a smooth edge. Some error coins are missing their reeded edges, which is that series of small grooves around the side of the coin. Next, consider the coin's condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, mint-state coin. The better the condition, the higher the potential value. Coins that have been professionally graded and encapsulated by organizations like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, tend to fetch higher prices at auction. Now, let's talk about the current market value. While most 2000p Washington quarters are worth their face value, just 25 cents, those rare error coins or coins in pristine condition can sell for hundreds, thousands, or even millions of dollars. On average, if you find a 2000p quarter in uncirculated condition with no significant errors, you might be able to sell it for anywhere from $5 to $50. But if you've got one of those rare error coins, you could be looking at tens of thousands of dollars or more. That $2.6 million price tag is definitely at the extreme high end and likely tied to a one-of-a-kind error or a coin in perfect, flawless condition. It's always a good idea to have your coins professionally appraised if you suspect you've got something valuable. So, there you have it, the fascinating story behind the 2000p Washington quarter dollar. It just goes to show that even something as small as a quarter can hold incredible historical significance and, in rare cases, a huge payday. Have you checked your change lately? Who knows? Maybe you've got a hidden treasure sitting right under your nose. We've got an exciting story about a coin you might have in your pocket or coin jar right now. We're diving deep into the history, value, and rarity of the 2004 Wisconsin quarter dollar. Believe it or not, some versions of this quarter have sold for up to $2.6 million. Yes, you heard that right, $2.6 million for a 25-cent coin. Stick around to find out why this coin is so special, how you can identify it, and what it's currently worth on the market. Let's start with a bit of history. The 2004 Wisconsin State Quarter is part of the 50 State Quarters program, launched by the U.S. Mint in 1999. This program was designed to celebrate each of the 50 states with a unique design on the reverse side of the quarter. Wisconsin's quarter was released in 2004 and minted in two locations, Philadelphia and Denver. The D mint mark indicates the coin was produced in Denver. The design of the Wisconsin quarter features several symbols representing the state's rich agricultural heritage. On the reverse side, you'll see a cow, a round of cheese, and an ear of corn. But here's where it gets interesting. There's a rare error on some of these coins that has made them extremely valuable to collectors. Now, what makes this quarter worth so much money? It's all about a small, yet crucial design error. Some of the 2004 Wisconsin quarters were mistakenly minted with an extra leaf on the ear of corn. There are two known variations of this error: the high leaf variety, where the extra leaf appears higher up on the corn stalk; the low leaf variety, where the extra leaf is positioned lower, closer to the cheese. These errors were likely caused during the die creation process at the mint. No one knows for sure if it was an intentional change or an accidental one, but either way, these rare varieties quickly caught the attention of coin collectors and enthusiasts. Because these error coins are rare, their value skyrocketed, especially when found in mint-conditioned SO. How can you tell if you have one of these valuable coins? Here's what to look for. First, check the mint mark. You need to have a quarter minted in Denver, indicated by the small D on the front of the coin, to the right of George Washington's ponytail. Next, flip the coin over to the reverse side and carefully examine the ear of corn. If you spot an extra leaf, either the high leaf or low leaf, you could be holding a fortune in your hands. It's important to use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to get a good look at the details, especially if your quarter has been in circulation and shows signs of wear. Now, let's talk about the money. While many of these error coins sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, there have been some record-breaking sales. In recent years, a 2004 Wisconsin quarter with the high leaf error sold at auction for an astonishing $2.6 million. That's right, a 25-cent coin sold for millions. However, not every error coin will fetch that much. The value depends on several factors. Condition. Coins in mint state or uncirculated condition are worth the most. Rarity. The high leaf variety is generally rarer and more valuable than the low leaf. Market demand. The coin collecting market can fluctuate, so prices can vary based on how many collectors are looking for that specific coin on average. These error coins can sell anywhere from $500 to $5,000. But if you've got one in pristine condition, especially the high leaf variety, you could be looking at 6 or 7 figures. If you think you've got one of these rare quarters, what should you do next? First, it's a good idea to get your coin professionally appraised. You can take it to a reputable coin dealer or send it to a professional grading service like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. They'll authenticate your coin and give it a grade, which can significantly impact its value. Once your coin is authenticated, you can choose to sell it through auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, online marketplaces like eBay, but be cautious and ensure you're dealing with serious buyers, coin shows or collectors clubs, where you might meet buyers willing to pay top dollar. So there you have it, the story of the 2004 Wisconsin quarter that could be worth $2.6 million. It's incredible to think that a simple coin, possibly sitting in your change jar right now, could change your life. Make sure to check your quarters carefully. You never know when you might strike it rich. We've got a real treat for you. We're diving deep into the story of the 2015 Washington quarter dollar coin. And trust me, you'll want to stick around because rumors are swirling that one of these coins might just be worth a jaw-dropping $2.5 million. Yes, you heard that right. So, is it true? What makes this coin so special? Let's break it all down. Point 1. A quick history of the Washington quarter before we get into the 2015 quarter. Let's take a quick trip down memory lane. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It became so popular that it replaced the standing Liberty quarter and has been a staple in our pockets ever since. Over the years, the design has seen some changes, especially with the state quarters program starting in 1999 and the America the Beautiful quarters that kicked off in 2010. The 2015 quarter is part of the America the Beautiful series, featuring designs that honor national parks and historic sites across the United States. The D mint mark means it was produced at the Denver Mint. But what makes this seemingly ordinary quarter potentially worth millions? Let's find out. Point 2. What makes the 2015 quarter so special? Now, not every 2015 quarter is going to make you rich. I wish it were that easy. But here's where things get interesting. Mint errors, unique varieties, and rare conditions can turn an everyday coin into a collector's dream. Some of the things to look out for include double die errors. This happens when the coin's design is accidentally stamped twice, causing doubling in the lettering or images to off-center strikes. When the coin isn't perfectly aligned during minting, creating a unique misprint. High-grade conditions. Coins that are in mint state condition, especially those graded MS 68 or higher by grading services, like PCGS or NGC, can fetch serious cash. There's also been buzz about a unique error coin from the 2015 batch that could explain the $2.5 million figure floating around. But is it real or just a collector's myth? We'll get to that in just a second. Point 3. How to check if your quarter is valuable. So, how do you know if your 2015 Washington quarter is worth anything more than 25 cents? Inspect the coin carefully. Look for any unusual features, doubling in the text, off-center designs, or any strange markings. Check the condition. Coins that haven't been circulated and have no scratches, dents, or discoloration are much more valuable. Get it graded. If you think you've got something special, consider sending it to a professional coin grading service, like PCGS or NGC. A high grade can skyrocket the coin's value. Compare with recent sales. Check online auction sites like eBay, Heritage Auctions, and others to see what similar coins have sold for. Point 4. Current market value of the 2015 quarter. Now, let's talk numbers. The average 2015 Washington quarter in circulated condition is worth, you guessed it, 25 cents. But for coins in mint state, especially those graded MS 65 or higher, the value jumps to around $5 to $20. However, coins with major errors or in perfect condition have been known to sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auctions. The highest recorded sale for a 2015 D quarter was for a rare error coin that fetched over $1,000. But what about the $2.5 million rumor? Well, there's no verified sale of a 2015 D Washington quarter for that amount yet. But in the world of coin collecting, anything is possible. A previously undiscovered mint error or a perfectly preserved, one-of-a-kind coin could hit the market and change everything. 5. Could you have a $2.5 million quarter? So, could your pocket change be hiding a fortune? It's unlikely, but not impossible. The key is to stay curious and keep checking those coins. History has shown us time and time again that rare finds can pop up in the most unexpected places. If you've got a 2015 D Washington quarter, take a close look. Who knows? Maybe you're holding on to the next big discovery. And if you do find something special, make sure to get it professionally appraised and maybe even featured in the next big coin auction. We're diving into the fascinating story of a coin that's turning heads in the numismatic world, the 2017 P Washington quarter. You might think it's just another coin in your pocket, but some rare versions of this coin are worth big money. In fact, one of these quarters recently sold for an astonishing $2.3 million. That's right, a simple 25-cent piece fetching millions. So, how did this happen? What makes this coin so special? And could you have one sitting unnoticed in your coin jar at home? Stick around to find out everything you need to know. First, let's rewind a bit and talk about the history of the Washington quarter itself. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. Designed by John Flanagan, the quarter features a left-facing portrait of Washington on the obverse side. Over the decades, the quarter has seen several design changes, but Washington's image has remained a constant, symbolizing strength and leadership. Fast forward to 2017, and the quarter was part of the America the Beautiful series, which ran from 2010 to 2021. This series celebrated national parks and historic sites across all 50 states, D.C., and U.S. territories. The 2017 quarters featured designs from Iowa, the District of Columbia, Missouri, New Jersey, and Indiana. But what makes the 2017 P Washington quarter stand out isn't just its design. It's something far rarer and more valuable. In 2017, the U.S. Mint did something it hadn't done in over 225 years. For the first time ever, they added a special P mint mark to the obverse side of the Philadelphia minted quarters. Before this, coins from the Philadelphia Mint usually had no mint mark at all. This little P was added to celebrate the Mint's 225th anniversary, and collectors quickly took notice. Now, most of these quarters are common. Millions were produced, and you can still find them in your everyday change. But here's where things get interesting. Some of these 2017 P quarters have errors or unique features that make them incredibly valuable. We're talking about double dies, off-center strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planchets. These errors are rare, and when collectors find them in pristine condition, especially graded as MS68 or higher, they can fetch thousands, even millions, at auction. You've probably heard stories or seen headlines about a 2017 P Washington quarter selling for $2.3 million. Sounds crazy, right? But in the world of coin collecting, rare and unique items can command astronomical prices. While there are no verified reports of a standard 2017 P quarter selling for exactly $2.3 million, there are quarters from this year with significant value due to errors, high grades, or special features. Coins with dramatic errors or those graded as MS68 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can sell for thousands of dollars. And in the rarest cases, if a coin has a unique error or is part of an extremely limited batch, it could theoretically reach values in the millions. That said, it's important to approach such claims with caution. Scammers and clickbait headlines can exaggerate or fabricate stories about coin values. However, high-value quarters do exist, and even if your 2017 P quarter isn't worth $2.3 million, it could still be worth a pretty penny. So, how can you tell if your 2017 P Washington quarter is valuable? Here are a few things to look out for. Mint errors. Check for unusual features like double dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks. These errors happen during the minting process and can significantly increase a coin's value. Condition. Coins in mint state, meaning they have no wear and tear, are worth more. Look for coins with sharp details, no scratches, and a brilliant luster. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Grading. Consider having your coin professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. A certified grade of MS68 or higher can drastically increase the value. Rarity. Some coins might have been struck on the wrong metal planchet or have other unique anomalies that make them rare. Special features. Keep an eye out for unique characteristics, like the P mint mark, especially if it's misplaced or unusually shaped as of now. Standard 2017 P quarters in circulated condition are typically worth 25 cents. However, coins in mint condition, especially those graded MS67 or MS68, can fetch $50 to $500 or more. Rare error coins or those with unique features can be worth thousands of dollars. The exact value depends on the rarity, demand, and condition of the coin. If you think you've found a valuable coin, consider taking it to a reputable coin dealer or getting it graded. Online marketplaces like eBay also give a good sense of what similar coins are selling for. So, there you have it. The 2017 P Washington quarter might just be the hidden treasure in your pocket. Whether it's worth $2.3 million or just a few dollars, it's always exciting to uncover the history and value behind everyday coins. Make sure to check your change. You never know what you might find. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on more amazing coin stories. Got a rare coin of your own? Drop a comment below and tell us about it. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting!